What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Film study for rookies today, man. We're going to break down Jaxson Dart, and man, he impressed me a lot. First play we're going to look at right here. I want you to look at the bottom of your screen. We're going to pause it right here. So we're going to have our drag, we're going to have our hitch, we're going to have our flat route. We can break down the whole concept if we want at the top of the screen, but it doesn't matter, right? Because all we're looking at is when the ball's in his hands, what's he reading right here? So as you break this thing down, you got the drag right here underneath. You got the defender playing that. You got your hitch right here. All right, you got defender on that, or the defender could drop low, all right, and play the flat route with Scatterboo right here. Right, so take a look what happens. Defender goes low, bang, high, low, read, easy, hit Malik Neighbors right there. So this is what I like about Jaxson Dart. Whatever the Chargers are going to give him, he's going to take it. Good first play right there. And then we jump to our second play right here. Now, this play is interesting. It's 1st and 10, and the Chargers only blitz two. They only blitz two people, right? Run that back real quick. So they're both, you're going to see they're going to drop both tackles back, right? Chargers are going to blitz two. They don't have a Mike running with Malik Neighbors. And Jaxson Dart's going to see that. He's like, there's no way that if they're going to drop the tackles back, that they're not going to run match coverage. Because match coverage, if Malik goes up, most likely, all right, the linebacker or the defender right there is going to run with them. But believe it or not, Chargers don't do that, all right? And what I like right here with Jaxson Dart is he's going to step into the pocket. He's like, okay, both tackles left. Let me step up real quick. And the reason this is such a threat with his speed is Deion Henley, who's a hell of a linebacker. He's like, I have Malik Neighbors behind me, but there's also a chance Jaxson Dart might run. So he's going to lose separation on Malik Neighbors. Jaxson keeps his eyes down the field. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm still shocked the Chargers did this, to be honest with you. Drop both tackles back. Don't go into a match coverage right there. But Jaxson Dart, all right, always a threat. He might run. That's in the scouting report. He's going to step up, keeps his eyes down the field. Bang. Extra 15 yards right there. Let's check out play number 3 right here. So right here, it's 3rd and 6, all right? 7-man protection. Once again, Jaxson gives you the threat of the run every single time. Now, this time the threat of the run really didn't impact. All right, the DB is at 2-man under. Let's take a look right here. So we're going to let it go. We're going to pause it right here. All right, it's cover 1, Robert underneath. And you see, for the most part, Chargers are really locking up the receiver. So Jackson's like, okay, what do I do right here? All right, he's going to scramble, right? He's got a rushing lane. And what I like, once again, is he's keeping his eyes down the field, telling that receiver, hey, turn that thing back around real quick, comes back towards me, and woo, he turned that thing around quick. I mean, this is what you have to like about Jaxson Dart right here. 3rd and 6, and these are the plays he's giving you right here on 3rd and 6. Like I said, Chargers, for the most part, have everything locked up. He could potentially throw across his body and hit Neighbors right there. Potentially, it would be a tough throw to make. But what I like is it's not even Neighbors, right? He's putting his trust in other receivers too. And look at that throw right there. On the run. I mean, that's a money shot, man. Let's take a look at the next one right here. Next play we're going to look at right here. It looks like cover 1 once again. All right, receiver does a good move. I don't think he gets the DB to bite enough. All right. And then a lot of contact at the top of the route. Take a look at what I'm talking about. So you have the receiver, top of your screen. Right, hang on, right here, take a look. All right, so double move right there. You get the DB to bite a little bit, but there's still too much separation, all right? Way too much separation right there. I think he does that a little bit too early, because take a look what happens next. All right, let the play develop. The DB is able to turn around easily and start running with that receiver again. Then he uses the sideline as his friend. I think Jaxson makes the right read right here. The only thing is I think that receiver has to get a little bit closer before we do a double move, right? If you do a double move and that DB is 5-7 yards off, that's plenty of time to recover. Now, if you get him to open up his hips and then you turn that thing back around on a dime, right? So now it's a 10-yard curl, 10-yard hitch, whatever you want to call it. That's different. But if you're trying to go over the top, we gotta get a little bit closer before we do that. I thought the throw, it made sense. All right. Just a tough throw to make right there. All right. Next play, let's take a look right here. It's 3rd and 10. What's he gonna do right here? It's 3rd and 10. 3rd and 10. He's bouncing. I think I remember this play. Let's run this one back real quick. So as you break this play down, this was the flood concept. All right. So we're gonna have our low right here. All right. You're gonna have your medium route, if I'm not mistaken, right there, and then your deep route over the top right there. I think he wants to go deep, But I think this is where he has to check it down, right? He was successful kind of scrambling earlier, all right, in the first quarter. Right here, check it down, give your guys a shot. But I think he wanted to hit Neighbors. You know, this is something that happens with playmaker quarterbacks. All right, so it's not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. Actually, we're going to look at right here, it's 3rd and 13. So we just went over 3rd and 10 last time. And right here, it's 3rd and 13. And what did he learn? He learned his lesson. He's like, okay, let me check it down. All right, hit my guy right there underneath. And what I like right here is his first read right here. It's essentially going to be picked up unless he stops on a dime, assuming that this defender right here doesn't try and jump it, or he doesn't stop on a dime as well and potentially pick it off. But watch him progress through his reads right here, right? He knows what he wants to do. He's going to look left, bang, get this defender to bite over there, and then come back and go middle. I mean, that's smart. That's smart. As a rookie quarterback doing this, right, a little bit of pressure too, right? You got to adjust a little bit. Look at this. Steps into the pocket once again, keeps his eyes down the field, man. Let's keep it going. Next play we're going to look at. So 3 third downs in a row. First one didn't succeed. Second one did. And third one, man, he shows you he can use his legs too. If you give this man a rushing lane, you're going to pay. And I like that the Giants are doing this right here, knowing that Jaxson Dart is a threat to use his feet. Always have a route going across the middle. Force that Mike to choose, right? Stay underneath on that crosser or potentially come up and play Jaxson Dart, right? Force him to choose. Because really Jaxson could have gone, 1 or 2 right here. But instead he's going to scramble right here. Gets the first down, man. I mean, this dude is a baller. Let's keep it going, though. And then right here, it's 2nd and 6. Let's take a look right here. Goes back to what I said before. If the defense is going to give him the underneath, right, just take it. And the next one we're looking at right here, it's doubles. All right. He had Wandale open potentially, but he goes and gets 15 like it's nothing, right? Take a look right here. We're going to pause the top of the drop. I mean, he's got Wandale potentially, but he also sees the rush lane right there. From his 35 to almost the opponent's 45-yard line on 3rd down once again. 1st and 10 right here. This one I go back and forth on. All right, I'm like, how did somebody just come in free? You're going to see the right guard right here. He's going to pull. Okay, I'm like, why is he pulling? Why is he the only one pulling? It looks like they were going to try and do a screen right here, fake the screen, and then bang, go over the top. A little bit confused. All right, because I thought, okay, if that's the case, would the left tackle slide over then? All right, that way Jaxson knows who's going to be in his face, but he doesn't. And instead, that free defender has a shot right at Jaxson Dart. And that's the only reason that's incomplete. I go back and forth on that one. Not the end of the world, though. Next play we're going to look at right here, it's 2nd and 16. And this is just like before. And what I mean by that is this right here. Right, you had your drag underneath. We got our drag underneath. We got our hitch right here. Bang. We were flat route. Oop, redo the flat real quick. All right, we got our flat route right here. And all we're trying to do is force this defender right here to either stay over the top or go underneath. He's going to go underneath. Bang, hitch is open. And instead of the defense being in a cover 4 look like last time, this time they're in a cover 3. Hit the hitch right there. And let your receiver get you the first down. All right, 1st and 10 right here. Bang. Once again, what happened? Let's take a look. Drag underneath, if I'm not mistaken. All right, drag underneath right there. Hitch right here. Flat underneath as well. Bang. Now, take a look at the defense right here. This time it's a little bit different. It looks like potentially match coverage right here. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let's keep this thing going. And then we jump to this play right here. And this was the only play call where I'm like, okay, what are the Giants doing? I was all sorts of confused right here. All right, he's going to throw it up. Unfortunately, all right, the receiver's going to drop it right there. But let's run this one back real quick. So you're going to see it's the left guard, left tackle. They're out of the play. Center's essentially out of the play too. Okay. Now you really have no lineman blocking for you. So you got basically 3 guys coming straight for your neck. So he's like, okay, screen's done. I got to panic. So now he's going to throw it up, which was actually a good throw. Right, just didn't work, but that was the only really bad play call I saw from the Giants right there. So on 4th and 3, you don't get it. 3rd and 5 right here basically seals the game away Final thoughts on Jaxson Dart of this right here. I thought he played good given his first career start. The Chargers defense is no joke. Obviously, losing Malik Neighbors is going to hurt. But the dual threat, right, and the accuracy he has running the ball and throwing it, I mean, this dude can really be special. I thought the only bad play call was that 4th and 3. Maybe kick a field goal, maybe don't. But that whole backside screen right there just seemed a little bit confusing. But with that being said, that's going to wrap it up. Film safe for rookies. That'll catch you guys on the next one. Take it easy. Peace.